Hello everybody, this will be video tutorial how to install Ubuntu 11.04. So after you booted up your VMware machine, created virtual appliance for Ubuntu and booted up Ubuntu server installation CD 32 bytes, you get this screen, you choose your language, and next, not really important, but you can choose to install special virtual machine minimum version core, pressing F4 for the modes and choosing the last option. Then you just hit install Ubuntu server. Basically you hit enter and let it do its stuff. You choose your language, we choose English, then your location. This is better to choose where you actually located, it will later get useful. I'm located in Slovakia, so we choose Slovakia. Next, keyboard layout, you will probably want to stick with English. Detect your keyboard no and choose USA. It's pretty simple, it's like Windows installation, you're just hitting next. This is uncut installation, so you will get some waiting until it's processed, empty screens, but might be useful. You can skip it in a finished video anyway. Now the basic stuff is loaded. In the end of this video we will have a nice virtual machine ready to deploy for MediaCore. Of course this is the most basic installation of Ubuntu server. There's lots of tools missing. You will probably have to install firewall, the Ubuntu firewall, Python and everything. We'll go through the basic stuff, and basically in the end of this video you will have working Ubuntu server with SSH. There will be no Apache or no web server of any kind. Basically just firewall, Vim editor and SSH. Here we go. If you have a DHCP on your network setup, it will find your IP and everything automatically. If not, you will want to set up this manually. I'm using this on my server in a data center, so I have external IP and everything, so everything is will be set up manually here. Do not bother do not bother to connect to this IP. It will be set up just for this test purpose, and after that it will be discarded. As you can see, I use 888 for DNS server. That's a free Google DNS server, so feel free to use it as well. This one, it's guessed your time zone. It depends on your location you set up earlier, so for me it was Bratislava, Europe. That is perfectly fine. Next we are going to use partitioner for setting up your disks. In VMware you want to use LVM. We're going to use not encrypted, just to save us time in a boot up. Basically you let it do its automatic stuff. It will create X2 partition for boot up, for boot partition, and X4 for your normal operation system stuff, and also swap partition, pretty much the same size as your RAM you set up for this virtual machine. So for our purpose it's perfectly fine, we don't have to create manually anything. If you set up encrypted LVM, which I highly recommend for normal working server, it's not, the performance issue is not there. It's you will not notice anything slower or like this, but the security is worth it. Only downside is during boot up you will be prompted for password to unlock your disks. This can be issue if you don't have physical access to your server, or you don't have ILO or other virtual other remote management of your server. But basically any normal server should have ILO or equivalent to this. So for production server you want to go encrypt it. The same for your home directory. You will be asked if you want to have it encrypt. I highly recommend also during the security is needed, I think, in any server environment. But for our test purpose we will not encrypt anything. In any case, this virtual machine will be basically thrown away after these videos are done. As you see now, the core is installed. It's the virtual core. Basically all the minimum drivers are there for running on VMware or other virtual machines. Now you are going to create your basic user. I'm going to just do the test user and the very simple password. You want to encrypt your home directory, I'm choosing no. For production server you should choose yes. Now we are running, or not we are, but the installation is running. The configuration of apt, which is your package manager, and this will handle your updates of the system and installation of new programs or anything you want to install or uninstall. All in all, whole installation will take about 20 minutes. Here you will not want to choose automatic updates, you like to have everything under control. For software you want to install OpenSSH server and basic Ubuntu server. That's all for now. The rest will be installed manually. We want to keep it small as possible. Now it's going to finish the installation of software. This Ubuntu installation is very simple. There is no hiccups you can find along the way. And another thing you will probably want to keep, not probably, but good idea is to keep everything in English. Your keyboard, the whole Ubuntu server, everything. There is a localization possible, but I advise against it. It's not. I haven't have any good experience with it. If you keep it in English, you will save yourself a headache. Now is the group. If you don't know what the group bootloader is, don't worry about it. You will probably never need to do anything with it except the installation here. It's just a small program that will load your core during the boot up, and apart that you can forget it. Just remember you have a group if somebody asks. And that's it, the installation is finished. It took us about 12 minutes. Now the system will reboot. CD will be automatically unmounted in VMware, so don't worry about that. Well, this small screen, that was the group I was speaking about. And we should have boot up anytime soon. Yeah, here we go, that's the disks and the login screen. Now we are going to do some post-install things. Check SSH, install some programs that are necessary. It's the most basic things. We check the SSH status. Yeah, well, you should be root actually to do it. So sudo -s or I, and your normal user password will give you a root access. Okay, here we go. So we check the service is SSH and we check the status. It's nice and running. It's a bind to IP you did set up during the installation. Now I'm trying to find out if Ubuntu firewall is installed. It's not. Usually it is there after installation, but this is the minimal installation for VMware. It's a first time for me to install this one. So basically we're going to do installation of the firewall. We do the apt get update, give us the latest packages information. Now we're going to install the firewall. Well, actually now we're doing the upgrade of the packages we already have. This is actually what you should have done after installation. The first thing, update your packages. Another thing, we will be installing VMware tools which are as package in Ubuntu. So now I'm installing the firewall, Ubuntu firewall. Basically it's IP tables with a more simple interface. Let's check the status. It's inactive at now. That's the default. We are going to set up a rule for port 22 to allow incoming connection. That's our SSH. And enabling the firewall will basically block every connection to the server except now port 22. You will want to get also allow port 80 for our tests. So we have the HTTP. I set up a limit to 22. It's for basically login robots which try to connect to your SSH and try different passwords and names. This will block them after some unsuccessful connections. It's helped a little bit. Now we are going to install the necessary things for VMware tools. You basically want to have your VMware tools installed on virtual machine. It speeds up the whole system a lot. It will speed up. So you need Linux headers virtual. It's basically like 4 things you need all together, and we will install it without the X support. We don't want any Windows in our server. We just want SSH and command line. So I'm going to use no apt get install no install dependencies. Or actually no install recommends, which will keep away the X system. You see there are the recommends which would be normally installed. We don't need them. This is a 32-byte version of Ubuntu server. Until now it's the same for 64-byte version as well. There's virtually no difference. Well, it's did its stuff. We go arrow up, get your last command, and change the basically package you're going to install now. We had a mistake there. So again, there is S missing. Now is the VMware tools installed. So basically you hit yes. Well, that's the VMware tool installed. In the end, you basically want to do one reboot after continue on MediaCore. I think I want to install also Vim for editor and another tools like HDH tools for these ones are recommended for VMware tools as well, but they were not installed together. You want to install HTOP, which is a nice replacement of top. I will be using it later. Well, basically that's it. The installation is done. Here is the HTOP output. Nice and flashy graphic, everything. Okay, it's not nice, but it's definitely better than the normal top command. And now we're going to do the restart, and after that we will continue off on installing MediaCore in VMware for the sole purpose of running MediaCore. So I see you in next recording. I hope this was useful for you, at least a little. And sorry my crappy English, well, it's not my main language. See ya.